They couldn't even get out to the church to pray. They couldn't even get out to the church to worship. Their house became a place to meet. People came in. They got so passionate about revival coming to their Isle, the Isle of Lewis. They got so passionate about it. They confronted the preacher and wanted to know if he was thoroughly right with God. And they prayed and prayed and prayed. And they'd seen the Lord, they said, with the church filled up and God blessing, a great overflow. And the fire of God struck that tiny little obscure place off the coast of Scotland. And when it happened, there was a young teenage boy that got saved in it. His name was Donald. And the preacher became so dependent upon Donald and so close to Donald, he would ask him to lead in public prayers and help him with the meetings, and he did. Oh, how God worked. People began to hear about it, and the revival fire spread. It spread. And God blessed in a great way. Those two old women, the people, kind of people don't want in their church anymore. And from that same island, there was a young girl who was a cousin to Donald Smith, who immigrated to America. Her name was Marianne Smith McLeod. She came to America in 1936. She met a man named Fred, and they were married. They fell in love. They were married. God blessed in a great way. And those old women were her aunts. And they came out of that fiery revival, They really experienced revival. And they sent a Bible, a copy of the Word of God that had been used in a special way in that revival, to Marianne. She started having children. I think it was 1937, she had her first child. They named him after his father, Fred. Then she had her second child, named after herself, Marianne. Then she had her third child, Elizabeth. Then she had her fourth child. And she was so impacted by this teenage boy God had used in that revival of the Hebrides. She named him Donald. And she gave him that Bible, the Hebrides Revival Bible. He was born in 1946. He's now the 45th President of the United States. And that revival Bible is in the Oval Office. I'm saying to you, I don't know how, why, I don't know how it all comes together. But I believe God is putting some things together to give us just a window. If he could find some open people who know what the window's for. Can this be the time the window's open? Providentially, God has prepared the moment.
Hi, my name is Jose, and I want to tell you about the best day of my life. It's the day I got my very first phone. Oh, it's so cool. It can play games, it can take pictures, send messages. It has an alarm clock, compass, flashlight, and wow, it's so... well, that was probably the second best day of my life. Let me tell you all about my bestest day ever. It all started when it was guest speaker week at school. We got to miss math class.
Woo! You got the answer right! Way to go! All right, now for our next challenge. Can anyone tell me how many candies are in this jar? Whoever comes the closest wins all of the candies in the jar. Okay, let's hear some guesses. Okay, hey. One at a time. What about you?
37.
Yeah, that's good. What about you?
40. I think there are 40.
Okay, sounds good. And you?
60. Definitely 60.
Okay. How about you, Jose?
61?
Okay, class, be kind.
61.
Okay, let's see. whose number is the closest. Can I get a drum roll, please? The correct answer is 61. Jose, you got the answer right. Okay, everyone. We have a special guest with us today. He is a leader in our town. People call him the gospel guy because gospel means good news. And he has good news to give us today. He knows all about a book called the Bible. The Bible is a book God wrote. It tells us where we came from, how we are to live, and where we are going after this life. So let's give him a huge welcome. I hope it's not long.
Or boring. Wonder what he's going to talk about.
About God. Duh.
Well, I don't even believe there is a God. There has to be a God. Someone made all this. It didn't just happen. I hope there's a place where no one ever dies.
Hi, everybody. I'm the gospel guy. I know that sounds a little funny. The word gospel means good news. And what good news do I have to share with you today?
How about more candy for everyone?
Great idea. Candy for everyone. Can we make that happen? Anyhow, I'm here to share with you some good news about heaven. So here's a question for you. If you were to die today, are you 100% sure that you would go to heaven? I hear you thinking, what do you have to do to go to heaven? Be good? Go to church?